Oh, people, the Love Gurus podcast is live. Give us your comments and questions in the chat.
The Love Gurus podcast is starting now. The Love Gurus are comics that bring comedic wisdom to the savages asking bizarre relationship questions on the internet. Your hosts are Suzanne Leah Shepherd and Jake Vevera. I am the Love Gurus' pet robot Cassandra. I love you.
Oh, people, we are live on YouTube. We are, in fact, atop a skyscraper in beautiful Beijing. No, this is Shanghai. Look at me. I get so fucking drunk, I forget what Chinese city I'm in, you know? Where am I at?
You're not the first Westerner to do it.
Exactly. I will never be heard from again. I will never be heard from again.
It's yeah, I mean that's what people do. You know, they just wander around Asia drunk and they're like, listen, I'm Westerner.
Dude,
how do I get to
wandering around Asia drunk was my favorite John Cougar Mellencamp song.
Oh, see, I was gonna say it sounds like a Sting album.
Yeah.
Like
wandering around Asia drunk. Yeah. Fucking for 7 hours in Shanghai.
I was going to say, it sounds like a very problematic film from 1998.
Yeah. It was a comedy back then, but none of those people can work in Hollywood now.
The sequel to 7 Years in Tibet. It was a raunchy sequel.
7 years in Tibet.
7 Years in Tibet.
Followed by
a couple odd weeks in
canceled
Bangkok.
in 2021.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Bangkok? It's pretty weird.
No, it sounds fucking awesome, man. I like how you said that kind of undertoned. Like I did some shit in Bangkok.
I was going to sell you something on Bangkok if I needed to.
Yeah?
If you're interested now.
Nice.
That
You
was
have the
fun.
timeshare there. He
It was
wants
good.
to sell
I have a
us.
timeshare. I can't get rid of the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
I can't unload this place. Turns out it's super inconvenient for people to go to Bangkok for 1 week.
Right. Timeshares are hard to sell
Super
sometimes.
hard.
Just because a couple kids died here, all of a sudden people think it's haunted or problematic for some reason.
it's easy to just get roped into the culture there. The culture in the timeshares.
Well, the culture attacks you. You don't have a choice. They approach you. They're not like a very timid people.
I think it's like it used to be a lot different, you know, like 15 years ago. It's, you know, like, I don't know. Bangkok, I guess, has always been more popular, but like other parts of Thailand have it, you know, wasn't as, I guess, like people weren't as aggressive to sell you things. But now it's like you can't walk through the street.
I didn't get to go to those nice parts. I was just in Bangkok. Very aggressive.
Bangkok got gentrified and it went soft. But either way, let me introduce our two awesome guests. First up, he's a hilarious stand-up comic, returning guest, Ilya Koranek. Thank you for being back on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Happy to have you. And Ilya Laksin, thank you for being on the show, man. First time. Follow these guys on follow them on socials and see them live. I guess I should also plug the unofficial fifth member of the podcast, the White Wine. We are starting off with some Da Vinci. This is good stuff, man, and it's not too cheap. We've done it on the podcast before, but it's
now I feel bad about drinking it.
It's did I say not too cheap?
You said it's not too cheap.
It's not too expensive. This is like $9. It's like $9.
It's the opposite of not too.
Oh, good.
It started off like the least classy endorsement ever. It's not too cheap, guys.
Dude.
I want you guys to know.
Uh-huh.
We dropped coin on this one.
We totally spent more than $15. No, I mean those.
I'm very much a caviar off of a Dorito kind of guy, like Wendy Williams, you know.
And not even like name brand Doritos.
No,
like Kmart brand Doritos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like khakis. Like you go to the bodega.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you can only buy these in Bolivia and here.
Right.
This bodega.
The FDA does not allow these. Only in this bodega can you get these.
You see a dead American.
Demographics show no white people won't enjoy this flavor.
Yes, D10, thank you for being here. Joel says, yes, my Thursday night prayer meeting is live. Absolutely. Sorry we're a little late, man.
Late. We're late today, but it's okay.
My camera fucked up, man. I had to fix it, but I'm excited.
We had tech issues. It was a whole thing.
Tech issues. It was a goddamn nightmare. It was a goddamn nightmare.
I literally was running through the rain to get here on time. I was still 20 minutes late.
I walked
I'll get to you,
But here's the thing: my camera fucked up after he got here anyway. So it's like it turns out it didn't matter.
It was tech issues. So
I kicked it, so it wasn't totally my fault.
But either way, I'm excited. We are going to take our first question from the wild animals on Reddit.
Oh, God.
First question. I accidentally sent my coworker a nude and she shared it at work. I'm 24, and basically a few days ago, I was texting a coworker about something we were working on together. And I was also at the same time sexting with my girlfriend. I ended up getting the two confused and sent a nude to my coworker. As soon as I realized what I did, I apologized and told her that it wasn't meant for her. She told me that it was fine and not to worry about it, and mistakes happen. She's 28, so I thought that she'd understand. She told me that she would delete it, and me trusting her word, I thought it was okay. Today, another coworker told me that she shared the photo with quite a few people at work. When I confronted her about it, she denied it. We have an HR department, but I'm afraid to tell them about it because I'm afraid the photo could be seen as sexual harassment and I may lose my job. What should I do? Well, here's what is baffling to me about this question, and I think that Jeffrey Toobin would relate to this. Why are you sexting and working at the same time? Like, what are you doing that you can think about sexting and work at the same time? Like, I can understand if you're taking like a quick break, but to be doing it back and forth like that, so much so that you get the two confused and send a picture of your dick to your coworker, like, what's going on? You know,
I hate to jump in so aggressively here, but that sounds like you've never worked an office job.
Really?
Wow. Like when you have to set aside time. It's like if you're sexting, I assume sexting is like, okay, this is happening. I'm not gonna like, I'll get back to you later. It's in the moment. So
right.
Like, I'm sexting. And then a work thing happens. Like I'm going back and forth. Like it seems perfectly ordinary.
Really?
Does,
oh
yeah.
wow! Don't I just seem like
maybe
a 13-year-old?
I don't break up my day like it's like 5-minute increments. Like I'm gonna send something.
Hold on. There needs to be an authorized sexting break.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
Hey boss, can I take a personal 5 minutes right now?
But see, I would just not want to. It's not that I guess I wouldn't want to like sext in the daytime, but it's just kind of like I just want to like be in the mood and be like, I'm busy, like I'm doing.
Well, maybe
stuff.
maybe whoever he was texting was in the mood and he was being responsive
He was
on
just
his
being
end.
a good
It's like, well, she's
boyfriend.
into it. My wife. I'm the breadwinner. She's home masturbating to our sexting. I'm helping her out.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna delay her because I have other things to do.
True. You can't.
You can't
give your girlfriend blue balls.
He's being a great partner.
Wow. Yeah. Oh.
Based on the information I have, he seems like a great guy.
No.
He's doing the right thing. Yeah. What's he gonna do? Clock out just to go sext? I mean, he's multitasking. This guy.
Yeah, that's true. I think this might be the difference. I mean, I hate to be the most cliche 90s stand-up, but it's like this might be the difference between men and women. If you are in a heterosexual relationship, if you're a woman, you know your boyfriend, fiance, husband, or whatever is going to be in the mood again at some point later. But if your girlfriend is horny, you were just like, yes, I have to jump on this opportunity.
Yeah.
Also, I will never know.
Also, imagine how would you feel if you were texting a guy? He'd say, "Hey, so what are you gonna do to me?" And he's like, and then he doesn't respond for 30 minutes. Like you'd feel like
I would assume he's busy at work.
Exactly.
No,
it's not.
So
if you're like, I'm horny, he's like, sorry, baby, it's 2:48 p.m.
No, but
I have to wait 2 hours and 12 minutes.
No, but you were already in the middle. You were already in the middle of sexting. I assume
Okay.
It wasn't his opening gambit. Here's a picture of my dick. Let's see how you feel about it. They were probably talking about stuff.
Okay, I guess also let me just clarify and just say that I actually I kind of never sext. I bet I haven't sexted someone in probably 10 years.
I'll be honest. While
there were still flip phones.
Yeah, maybe that's what.
I'll show you a cell phone, snake. By God,
she had to get a beeper and then find a payphone.
Okay, so maybe 10 years is an exaggeration, but it's certainly been 5 is not an exaggeration. 5 would definitely be more, because to me texting doesn't make sense, because if I'm going to do things, I need both hands, and I don't want to go back and forth. And also, I don't need you. I don't need what you're going to say to me on text. Like, I'm fine by myself. Like, you being like, ooh, your little strawberry nipples. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't need it.
Okay, if that's the kind of sexting you were getting of your strawberry nipples, it's like, no wonder you're
also
not
100% you didn't just make that up.
Strawberry nipples? You've either got though this is a well-known thing. You've either got strawberries or pepperonis. Full stop across the board.
I once had a lady sext me about my strawberry nipples, and I was like, "You're a cop. I'm not falling for this. That's bullshit. That's not normal sexting."
Strawberry nipples is like a common phrase. Yeah.
Strawberry Nipples was the Beatles' best song. Strawberry
There's a part of me that, I mean,
forever.
I hate to be obstinate here, but I don't think it's that common of a phrase.
Yeah.
I've never
Is that
once.
common? Is that
Is
that a common?
Strawberry Nipples
I think
17. That's a weird song.
It's as common as having pepperonis.
Okay.
I've heard pepperoni nipples slung as an insult.
Yeah,
I've never done it.
I've never
I
heard-
texted a lady once, and she never talked to me again. Work aside,
Yeah.
she just never
Yeah,
talked to me
I feel
again.
I feel like nipple's a sexy enough word that you don't need to qualify it with food. I feel like that only takes it away.
I feel like you got
yeah.
it. I feel like I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of nipple adjective. Pat Perky. That's a
Oh,
nice adjective.
dude, Hershey Kiss nipples. Those are shaped like nipples.
It's always having food. That seems like very limiting.
Yeah. I feel like candy would be better.
Yeah, jelly beans.
Jelly bean nipples.
That's the word.
Jelly bean nipples.
Kit
That's a
Kats.
country song. That is a fucking country song.
That's a country
What else?
singer.
Yeah, like what else
outlaw
is small? I don't know, like side of the road bump nipples. Like
I feel like the creepiest analogy
Yeah.
I've ever heard is in the movie Superbad, where Jonah Hill was like, "Oh, her nipples are like baby toes," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's the yeah, right." I was like, "Ugh, I didn't like that at all."
I once had a lady tell me I had a jelly bean dick, and I didn't appreciate it. That was the worst sex thing I ever had.
That's only because of the surprise flavor.
Right? Yeah.
how dare you say it's like buttered popcorn?
Uh-huh. You mean because it's sweet, right? Because it's sweet, because it tastes good.
Is it waxy? Is that why?
Because it's giving you the sugar foot. It's giving you diabetes.
Yeah, I feel like to the actual problem at hand, I think it's awful. Yeah, I mean, it seems like this person made a mistake and did, just through no fault of their own, text a nude to a wrong person, and it's terrible. But the fact, this person, shared it with other people, that's really fucked up. But you're right, there's no way for you to prove that this was an accident. I feel like the other person, what you did, it was an accident. What they did was purposeful.
Actually, no. He could. If he was texting with his girlfriend, he has timestamps of when he sent it to his coworker and when he sent it to his girlfriend. So he could very easily say, "I was in the middle of this conversation with my girlfriend."
But so you're saying that he should go to the HR department and say, "Look,"
I think
or you're saying that the timestamps are in the event that he gets called if HR.
If his coworker, assuming everything he said to us is kosher, then and his coworker then tries to retaliate against them, it'd be very easy for him to prove the timing of when he sent the dick pic, saying, "Well, actually, no, I was texting with my girlfriend at the same time," and you could see this series.
This is reading like John Grisham's shittiest book ever. I love this.
No, I'm just saying. I have experienced some of this in the legal profession of these kinds of like text.
Really?
Text messages are admissible evidence in divorce.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
so,
like in all, yeah.
And so when people, and so that and the when things are sent, and like you can prove it's very useful evidence of proving things. So in this case, he has a pretty solid case, I would say.
So I'm slightly confused. He's saying that he was texting his girlfriend or whatever, and then accidentally texted it to somebody at work, and she just saw him.
No, he accidentally sent a nude to the coworker.
Oh yeah.
Pay attention, Jake. Jesus.
Yeah, no, I was not paying attention, admittedly.
So he's texting his girlfriend and jerking off in the utility club.
Yeah. But then it started reminding me of shit that I've done that's kind of similar. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember which one.
Jake just started having flashbacks, and that's when we lost it.
I've gotten fired for a lot of jobs for things almost identical to this, but not quite.
I would say, say. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. So I was gonna say, so he said another coworker said, "Well, I got your nude too." Obviously, if she has proof, the text that she got from this other coworker, then if he goes to his person listening, if you go to this coworker who came to you and said, if you can prove that she sent it to you, you can prove that she's sharing nudes, like the.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is it a crime to share a dick pic that someone sent to you?
Yeah, you can. It's revenge porn. I think they've actually
legislated that is true.
But
that is true.
Yeah.
So I think it's two things. One, he's in the wrong, and I'm sorry.
I don't know. It sounds like he's getting revenge porn made against him.
Okay.
I feel bad for this guy.
I think it's two things. And again, this is my opinion, and I'm going to sound like the hugest stick in the mud. He was wrong. He was wrong. I'm tired of guys being like, "Oh, whoops, I accidentally sent a dick pic." Fuck off. You know what you're doing, okay? As a female, fuck off. You know what you're doing. Stop sending pictures of your dick to everyone that's in your phone book. Okay. Number two, the coworker is also at fault because the fact that it's one thing if she got it and it's just like, she could report it. But the fact that she's sending it out to further embarrass him, like, also what's wrong with you? Like that
she
to
clearly
me
doesn't
is-
like this
is
guy
very
at
weird.
all.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I think she did it as a way to like she doesn't like him for whatever
like
way,
him.
shape, or form.
Yeah.
So she sent it out to other people to
'Cause
get control over
The
him.
thing is I've never accidentally sent a dick pic to a coworker, but I genuinely feel that if I accidentally sent a dick pic to any of the women I work with at work, when I was really trying to send it to my fiance, if I went to them and I was like, hey, sorry about that. It was an honest mistake. And also I had it wearing glasses because that's like our thing. You know what I mean? Like they would be like, all right. Like they would kind
she
of
likes
more
it when
or
the
less,
tips painted red. What?
yeah, like they might be a little weird about it, but I don't think they'd be sending it to other people. I don't think they'd be getting a hold of HR. Now, if I just sent it and then just like then didn't send anything else, now it's fucking weird. Like you immediately have to reach out and kind of be cool about it and be like, hey, I'm an asshole. By the way, sorry. I was trying to, because I've sent the wrong text to people at work all the time. And I'm like, wow, it's a good thing I don't feel the need to send dick pics to someone I've been with for 6 years. Otherwise, I could have, hey, can you grab a torta on your way home? That could have been my sausage, you know? And I mean, you know.
Sausage.
Yeah.
I
also pick up some milk on the way home, and here's your motivation.
Right.
Yeah.
It also depends on like if there's a pre-existing, like, what his relationship is with her, like what's he like in the office, if his ordinary demeanor is like, I feel like that's the context as well.
Yeah.
It's like, is he the kind of guy who would do this in the
because
first
he's
place?
also only 24, so arguably this is his first real job. Like he probably hasn't worked there for a long time, you know. So
Dude,
I think that there's a lot for him to lose, because then if he gets in trouble and loses this job, it's difficult to explain.
He needs to take an honest look in the mirror and ask himself, is he Jim from The Office or Dwight from The Office? Because that's going to weigh heavily on how this accidental dick pic is going to go.
Yeah.
And it's going to vary on how he needs to fix it as well.
You said you put glasses on. I put a little top hat and Lincoln beard on.
Nice.
Buff.
There you go. There you go.
But
do you ever throw a little fake blood on it, pretend he's going to the movies, that kind of thing?
Going to the movies in 1865?
Yeah, but he got killed at the movies.
Yeah, that's right.
He was at a matinee.
He was seeing a very early Charlie Chaplin picture. I feel like, yeah, you're right. I think that what he did, I mean, Suzanne might be correct, and he knew what he was doing, but it sounds like if he's doing this, it was an accident. It can be difficult to prove. I think you might be in a stalemate here. And I think if this is a person who shares your dick pic out of revenge or to be spiteful or whatever, I think you might just be at a stalemate, and this might just be a person you should avoid in the future.
Can I just give a bit of like investigatory advice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just on the off, you may
investigatory sounds fucking solid. Like this sounds official.
It's the biggest
I like
word
that,
we've
dude.
ever used on the podcast.
I don't know what that means, but it's fucking impressive.
I mean, take a wild stab at what you think it might mean.
I mean,
I mean, in your wildest imagination, you seem like a reasonably intelligent guy.
Does it have something to do with? It doesn't have anything to do with penguins.
Suzanne, don't confuse him. It's just mean.
That's the breed from penguin, not the ones from March of the Penguins, but like the ugly ones, right?
Yeah, the ones from Happy Feet 2.
The ones from Happy Feet 2. Did you go Happy Feet 2 on this question?
I mean, I'm astonished you think I've seen Happy Feet 2. Now I'm lost.
Our references are deep on this podcast, man. You gotta be a film book.
But I want to know the investigatory.
Give us the investigatory advice.
First of all, screen cap save all the text messages.
Yeah.
And then talk to all the people, like whoever the other coworker was to say, and ask other people or find out if she knows other people who might have talked to her. And you can either just jot down what they say or get an actual written statement from them. If they say, oh yeah, she showed it to us, she like as a joke or something, have them get a signed statement and walk into HR with that. I mean, assuming everything he said to us is true and correct, that's what I would advise.
So you think that he should be proactive in the situation, and he should get that information and go to HR himself.
You don't even have to go to HR, but if you're insecure about what might happen, get that information and just have it with you.
That's a good idea. Yeah,
that's just the general. That's just how you want to be.
So what you're saying is, go to coworker B, the one who came to you and said she sent it to me, and say,
so
can
go
I
to
get a
that
statement
person.
from you? If you think there's others she sent it to, get statements from them as well.
Yeah, find out.
Text
You
messages.
can do it in a very
Dude, but ain't that gonna make it even more awkward at work?
That's
if you're going on your coworkers like, listen, I sent a dick pic, and I get a statement for you about my dick pic. Like, isn't that gonna?
That sounds like a little Wayne song. Can I get a statement?
Can I get a statement about a little dick pic? It was wearing glasses.
Personally, I just don't have the self-confidence. I would just ignore the whole situation and just hope it goes away.
I mean, you can do both. I would say you can gather some evidence just for your own peace of mind.
No, but that's very smart.
I've got the light in a terrible spot, so it's hard for me to read the questions. But we do have some comments on YouTube. Are any of you doing any live stand-up gigs in New York City between August 5th and August 11th? That's when he's going to be here. I don't have anything as of now, but
yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have our QED show, so we'll post about it.
Suzanne put me on that show so that I can perform for this person.
Yes, at QED in Astoria,
you perform
Queens.
for this person on your own anyway.
Yes.
Stop it.
That was D10.
Don't act like you need a stage.
I don't have any shows, but I will send you a picture of my penis.
Absolutely. He's going to have dick pics or a live show. Either way, it's going to be good.
And if your kink is, I'm like, it was an accident. Oops.
Okay.
And I got a monocle on mine because my dick is a hipster now, you know?
Yeah. That's why you need to put the beard on it. It's a hipster beard.
Plus, my dick will only fit one glass, you know? Like one half of one side.
A monocle. Yes. It has a monocle.
A pair of pens, eh?
Yeah. It's all right. Joel on YouTube says, ain't nothing better than imitation nacho cheese flavored tortilla chips. That's, you know, I like those. If you were a D10, you'd send the other coworkers. Oh, I got.
Yeah, I
scrolled down to 2
minutes. If you were D10, you'd send the coworker another photo because who doesn't like a D10? I mean, straight up, yeah.
Is that a Dungeons and Dragons thing?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
And then Joel says,
I think he's in the CIA.
Dude needs to throw that schlong at the HR person.
Yes.
You're human and I've got a resource. Hubba. It'll be okay, dude. That's really nice.
You got it.
That's nice.
Sexually harassing the HR person feels like the most.
Just double down.
That's the Mount Everest of workplace hookups.
Because who are they going to go to? Nobody.
It does sound like an early 2000s Ryan Reynolds movie. You know, like I got it. We're going to make a bet, bro. First one to bang the HR lady wins $100.
But then they fall in love.
What are you going to do?
Starring Ryan Reynolds and Mila Kunis.
Yes. D10 has a good suggestion. He says, if you don't use speech to text while sexting, then you haven't lived. How did we not even think of this before?
Oh, that's
speech to text, like while you're sexting.
Okay.
Like you talk and then you're saying like I talk.
Like you know how like you can like say the message into your phone.
So then it's hands free.
But
then speech text picks up.
Well, also to be fair, he's at work, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
He can't be like, "Hey, I'm gonna lick your ass." Like,
It's
insane.
Plus, dude, speech to text always fucks up on me. It's, "Hey, I'm gonna flick your ass."
Maybe the comment was more into when I was saying that I need both of my hands.
Oh, for you, it's really
like I'm gonna lick your clip over and over again.
Clippy from Microsoft Office pops up.
It sounds like you're trying to sex.
Cool for me.
Do you need tips on being a dirty boy? Clipping. Lord.
Oh wow! And then
I've been a hooker for 25 years. I don't even know what that means yet. He's into some freaky shit. That's what that means.
Clippy's got a cigarette.
And then and then Joel just wants you to take off your shirts, Ilya. Just
me specifically.
Yeah, throwing that out there for you. Oh no, are you? That's a comment because we all have blue on. Okay, yeah.
We all look at that.
Okay, that's very funny.
I felt like flattered and like intimidated.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, amazing. Well, I think we answered that question. Should we move on?
Absolutely. Let's move on and let's hear from our somewhat sort of sponsors, man. Let's hear from the white wine people. Are you looking for a delicious Pinot Grigio? Then you can't do better than Da Vinci Pinot Grigio. It was invented by some smart dude from like the 17th century or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I heard he invented a lot of shit. He invented, I don't know. I heard he invented the plane. Is that true?
The flying machine.
Yes, the flying machine.
I think an early helicopter.
Yes, he did do that. Well, I heard he drew it on a napkin or something. It was different, but
I don't think napkins exist.
He invented those, and then he drew the first one.
I got a genius.
Da Vinci Pinot Grigio is crafted from grapes grown in Delle Venezi's region. I couldn't even say region. I tried to pronounce it all Italian. Region's finest vineyards, where Italian Pinot Grigio has been grown for more than a century. There is an Italian treasure hidden in every 1,000 bottles. Oh,
yeah, that's
fun.
That's what that dude texted to his girlfriend.
Goddamn right.
Goddamn right. It's a worm in like a mezcal kind of thing. Like is like a thing in the bottle, or
you can find
like a worm.
Yeah, dude.
Italian treasure, like an obnoxious bracelet or what?
Yeah, no, like a treasure to Da Vinci's inventions, man. Right. It's fucking Da Vinci Code shit. You know,
it's a Mona Lisa penny whistle.
Sopranos DVD. I'm trying to think of something.
He also drew his dick on the inside of this bottle. It's crazy. You can see it once you finish it. This
Inside
crisp,
of a big circle. It's pretty good.
it is. It's
Uber dick.
his dick is a perfectly circumference dick.
He had a
It's so
gorgeous
wild. It was, yes.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Vitruvian man
OCD women love going down on her like it is so symmetrical. It is so it's so
Wow.
symmetrical.
when he windmills, it's in a perfect circle.
Wow.
That's how he came
Yeah.
up with the helicopter.
This crisp Pinot Grigio is exceptionally well balanced with floral aromas, hints of ripe apple and tropical fruit, and a clean finish. Da Vinci Pinot Grigio is delightful and an aperitif. I don't know what the fuck that means. Aperitif. Yeah, aperitif.
The two educated people.
Uh-huh.
No, that's you too. We're on her.
Did Da Vinci
level.
just put a hex on me? What does that mean? Or as a compliment to light pastas, meat, and fish. Da Vinci Pinot Grigio, get you some. Now let's take another question from the wild animals on Reddit.
Next question. They're more than kissing cousins. My friend came.
The music's accidental, by the way. This is fucking perfect for this stuff. It's totally random, this music.
My friend came to me the other day and was asking for advice. He said that his wife is strongly considering divorce after 23 years of marriage because they took a DNA test and, as part of their family history research, discovered that they are sixth cousins. They share a single common grandparent.
Dude, maybe it's because I'm from Iowa. That don't fucking count, man. Like, what are you talking about?
This caused his wife to freak out over over the thought that she's had 3 kids with her cousin. When they found out, she ran to the bathroom and started throwing up. Kept screaming how her whole life had been a lie, how she couldn't understand how she could be so stupid. He said that he's tried many times to talk her out of this, saying that it doesn't matter because they're so far removed. Generally, they're not related. He's so regretful that they even took the test and wish things were back to normal, but the damage is done. The Pandora's box is open, and it's all she can think about. Her parents have tried talking to her, her siblings, friends, coworkers, and all say the same thing. It's not a big deal, but she's focused on how disgusting it is. That she not only slept with her cousin, but she actually married and had kids with him.
Dun, dun, dun.
What test exactly did they take? Did they submit testing of each other to see the?
Yeah, so they
Just
that's
in
not
case.
because if
Yeah.
you just take a regular DNA test, it's like 23andMe is not going to.
No, they just slapped a banjo in the kid's lap and said, go. And he fucking tore it up instantly. No,
so
that's
like,
his final question is basically how can he help his friend? But yeah, so to give a quick recap, what happened, they were doing family research. They both took a DNA test and they found out that they share a common grandparent.
Okay.
So which would mean that the grandparent had multiple partners.
But
right?
what I'm saying is the DNA test, the genealogist is just like historical research. A DNA test doesn't establish that you have a common, unless you're actually comparing their DNA together.
Yeah,
that's what
so
I'm saying, which is a weird thing for a couple to have ever done.
But
It's like, let's see.
No, but doesn't that like let's say that if you do the 23andMe and then you plug your results in and it it's linking
Our
everyone
ethnicities
together.
are exactly the
Oh,
same.
you
So
can
it
find
would-
siblings. Okay,
it would show up like a common ancestor.
I guess.
So I think that's what happened is it showed up the common ancestor.
Okay, so just
and now
okay,
that's how
I
they found out
got you.
they're cousins.
So I am a giant history nerd, so I'm going to lay some facts on
He
you
knows
real
everything about
quick.
giants.
I'm in for it.
One of the most acclaimed Supreme Court justices of all time, Louis Brandeis, married a second cousin.
Okay.
Albert Einstein married his second cousin.
Yeah.
Dude, a lot
And-
of people did back
Yeah,
in the day.
yeah,
That was pretty normal,
FDR
yeah.
and Eleanor
Yes,
Roosevelt.
They were
Yeah.
they
did.
were
Oh,
fifth
sorry.
cousins.
Oh, I thought they were
Yeah.
first cousins.
No.
Oh.
Eleanor Roosevelt and
FDR.
Franklin Roosevelt were fifth cousins, so they're even more distantly related slightly than them.
Have you guys ever?
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
have you
back
guys-
when there was only 13 states, I think everyone was at least a fifth
Okay,
cousin,
it was
you know?
70 years ago. This is not that long.
7. Yeah.
70 years ago, there was only 13, 14 states, right?
Oh, boy. Okay. No,
there was
but-
13 states, then World War I, then World War II, and then there was like
And then Happy Feet too.
We're
Yeah,
actually,
then
we're
Happy
actually
Feet
trying
too.
to relate more to our Hawaii and Alaska audience.
Yeah. But no, really, I mean, it's I think at some point I think it's federal law now that, or in almost every state, you can legally marry your third cousin
Oh, okay.
because you're just far enough away. Because your first cousin is grandparent, second cousin is great grandparent, et cetera, et cetera. So that means if they're sixth cousins, that means they have one great grandparent in common.
Dude.
So that's so far away that,
All right.
and if they have 3 kids, any of them have major birth defects, it's fine.
Yes.
It's not incest in any way.
That's
Joel on YouTube says, I'm from Tennessee. 6 cousins are complete strangers, except for the family reunion.
Yeah, I think it's such a stretch. But back to your point about history, like I don't know if you guys have ever read Wuthering Heights before, but that like part of that book is that, you know, you're due to marry your first cousin, and she's like, I don't want to marry my first cousin. But this is another thing. I was listening to another podcast one time talking about how Darwin, when he started kind of like figuring out genealogy, he was married to his cousin, and he like kind of worked it out through scientific, you know, this scientific method. And he figured out that he's like, oh God. Oh my God. And he apparently really struggled with the fact that, because he, again, not necessarily from like a societal aspect, because they got married because of society, but from a genetic standpoint, he realized how bad it was, and it really bothered him.
Dude, how pissed off would you be if you were Albert Einstein's kid and like, I should be smart as fuck, but he decided to knock up his own cousin. So now I can only read backwards, and I have a lazy eye, and I'm doing only the puzzles on the back of cereal boxes. That's all I'm figuring out.
It is. So I think, I mean, it's so distant, but I mean, she is.
Or Andy Einstein. No one knows his name, and that's why.
Yeah. But it's almost like, so she's like super concerned about this. She's like, oh, it's almost to me as if there's actually an underlying issue. And she kind of hasn't been happy in this marriage for a long time.
That's what it is.
And she's all of a sudden, she finds this, I wouldn't call it a smoking gun, but you know, she finds this thing.
It's her
that
patsy.
she can cling
It's her
onto.
excuse. Yeah.
And be like, oh, and it's just her trying to get out of the marriage because she's actually kind of been really unhappy for a long time.
I'll bet the plot twist at the end, you know, like the Kevin Spacey straightening his foot out at the end of Usual Suspects, is he's gonna pull that thing up and realize she completely made the whole thing up, man. There is no institute called Spit in the Jar. You state, like, that's not a thing.
Yeah, cousinfinder.com.
Yeah, cousinfinder.com. It's not there. Well, it's a dating app in certain places, but it's not, you know, it's she completely made the whole thing up to get away.
Yeah.
But here's a question for everybody in the room. How far away in the cousin line would someone have to be for you to hook up to them with them?
I mean, it's a weird question. I have a really small family, so like it's a meaning. I don't know what it's like to have a bunch of cousins.
Well,
but
right.
I guess,
couldn't name one of my 6 cousins.
Like, presumably, the only concern, like the reason it's a taboo, is because of the risk of genetic or congenital defects to the offspring.
Because people were anti-handicap back in the day.
So really, it's just like, to what extent are cultural norms keeping you from wanting to fuck like a hot distant relative? Like, that's about it, right?
I feel like because third cousin
that was a very pro cousin fucking. I like that. He's like the lawyer for cousin fucking.
I'm on different. My instinct is to defend the. First of all, I mean, I think adult incest should be legal. Whether or not you should be allowed to procreate is a more tricky question. But two consenting adults of any sort should be allowed to fuck. I'm sorry, I just think they should be allowed to. I don't care how gross it is to you. I don't care.
No, I actually kind of agree with you on that aspect. Yeah, 2 consenting adults, but then it goes into the, well, you know, you can't legally require them to use birth control, or et cetera, et cetera.
I think they got to have a traffic cop who's being punished for something. They got to hang out, and they got to make sure. I'm not going to go into the details on how, but
I think that third cousin, because you can have sex with any, if 2 people are over 18, you can have sex with whoever you want. Yeah. That's not. But as far as legal marriage, third cousin is the line, because that's where it's genetically okay. Yeah. So I think for me personally, I think I would have to just one step. 4th cousin is where I would draw the line.
See, I was gonna go 5th cousin before Ilya's speech. He bumped me down a number. I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'm waving the libertarian.
I'll have you fingering your sister by the holidays. I'm a very convincing speaker.
I wish they hadn't cut that part of Alec Baldwin's Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah.
I knew his
Incest is
salesman
for
so
closers.
good he could talk you into fucking your own sister. I know because he talked me into fucking my own sister. He had brass balls.
Whoa.
He brass balls.
He said fingering, dude. You made a big leap.
Exactly. That's how good I am. He took what I gave and he ran with it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Ilya
I don't
just
know
put
his sister.
The
But he
breadcrumbs out.
knows her better.
It's like a pyramid scheme. Now I'm convincing other people to fuck their own family members for him.
No, trust me. I know you. It's like you try to get people to watch a TV show. It's like, trust me, it's a little slow at first, but you're getting into it.
Yeah, but yeah, to answer your question, Ian, for me, I think it would depend on. It's more of like if you grew up with them, So even if it's so even because some people have really big families, and they do, they're like, oh, that's my cousin, and I'm like, but so it's like your mom's and they're like, no, it's just they have like this very convoluted way of describing the person as their cousin. So if you like grew up with that person, that I think is not okay. But like, let's say that you're just out in the dating world and I don't even know, but I don't know. Actually,
Like you're the big family
I'm gonna-
get together and just like you're mingling, seeing people wearing like a
Right.
Laksin family reunion 2020.
Or
I
like-
never met you before.
Let's say you're an amazing director from the 70s
I was
and your
gonna say,
current
my-
wife has
my
a
hero.
big family. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But they're adopted. And
Yeah.
what are you going to do? I mean, I used to think he was a bit of a dick.
I saw
but
you
now
around.
Again, let's reiterate. Consenting adults. That's the important line here.
Sunni, no one's just alleging kind of the Sunni thing is not like non-consenting adults situation.
I'm gonna
Just
go
to-
over
Well,
here
she-
now.
I think-
I don't want to be associated with what's happening.
I love that
it was more that she wasn't an adult. Like that's
Well, I mean, the question was whether because I just watched the recently
Yeah.
documentary, it's like whether she was like 17 or 18 or something at the
Yeah.
time of the pictures, which I don't really know for certain. But either way, that's not like even under any modern statute or whatever. It's not like
I want to condemn personally everything that has been said so far in this podcast, including by myself.
I don't know. I understand how you can
look at
condemn equivocation. Like
See,
that.
look at
it's a weird thing to not
look at
take
people
a stance on.
just going against Woody Allen and incest. PC culture run amok, I said. PC culture run amok.
yeah.
It
It's,
literally is. To be
Yeah.
fair. If you go to jail because you have consensual sex with someone,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry, that's weird.
still banging cousins a little weird, right? I mean, that's,
I'm not saying it's not weird. I'm saying you shouldn't be legally punished for it.
Yeah,
I'm like
that-
cultural judge people for judge people for whatever you want. Of course, judge people, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
like-
You're talking about two different things. You're talking about
Yeah.
like a legal
So it's like if your
ramification.
concern is if you're just talking about like it's just a matter of personal preference. Like, what does it mean for someone to be a fifth cousin? Like, what does it mean to you? If you're just worried about your family judging you, then don't do it. But if it's just purely like attraction or whatever, like if you're physically attracted to them, then and that's the only
I'm
impediment.
still-
I don't understand what the
I'm
issue-
still in favor. Yeah, kill it. We got more, man. I'm gonna go grab another one. Yeah, I'm still in favor of that being illegal, the cousin fucking. But I used to think you should go to jail for it. You convinced me. $50 fine. That's right. It should be downgraded. It's a misdemeanor now.
No, still wrong.
In the land
Why
of-
do you-
in the state of Massachusetts, it is a $50 fine now.
now you just want to make now you're just pimping out incest. You just want to make money off of it.
It's like
Well,
a cigarette.
You're right.
tax.
We got to raise the tax a little bit, don't we? We got to, you know,
Yeah.
Raise the tax on just everyone.
$1,000 for.
Oh, you want to make more money off of incest?
Yes, if we're gonna do it right. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'll be honest. This is a very confused political stance. You take.
Yeah.
It's.
It's like, I hate incest. We should make it more
I
expensive.
have my principles, but I can be bought. That's my political. That's my campaign
So
platform.
you have no problem with incest as long as they pay you before they do.
It's not the way I like to phrase it, but it's gonna have to be.
Is it
it's gonna
an-
have to be? Yeah,
Is
right,
it an
yeah,
accurate
yeah.
reflection? of
It's
your
100%
sentiments?
accurate. It's 100% accurate.
So we have a comment from Amy Liska. She said, "I guess it's true that we're all 6 steps away from Kevin Bacon." Yeah, I mean that's
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
Like you think about
Well, the Bacon brothers fuck. Well, they were, I don't listen to their
yeah.
albums. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate.
That saying was created as he was having sex
Yeah,
with his 6th
whatever.
cousin, and he was trying to convince her it wasn't.
I've never
weird.
more
Yeah.
wanted to know what Kevin Bacon's brother's name was right now. So it's his perfect, right?
Oh, yeah.
John, Bill.
Yeah.
Brian, I hope it's B. Brian Bacon.
You think
Yeah.
it's Brian Bacon?
Brian Bacon making
Fred?
Brian Bacon making whoopee.
if his parents have a sense of humor at all, they would have named him Canadian. If not,
Or apple with smoke.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and then Amy also says, I thought Albert was married to his first cousin. Wow, I didn't realize he had so much more class. Who's Albert?
Albert Einstein.
Albert
I think.
Einstein.
Oh, okay. And then Joel says, dude doesn't need to take that black shirt off. It works for his. My cousin and I love it. Okay.
Yes.
This is again.
I don't know what's happening, but
It's a great shirt.
what's the comment on my shirt?
I think everyone loves
And
your
also,
shirt,
it's a navy blue. It's just coming across black.
Yeah.
Just want people to know.
And then Joel also says, I have 49 first cousins. I have third cousins I've never met. LOL. I have a massive family as well. I have 40 first cousins, and it's but the thing is like, so how does it, like, as the family expands, like the other side, the other grandparents, or I guess it doesn't make sense, because like it makes sense to me, like my second cousins or first cousins once removed having kids, but then it's like, I'm not going to date a fucking 20-year-old. Like that is
that's the creepy
I would
part,
rather
not the
date a
incest.
third cousin over a 20-year-old like any day. I mean, that's just,
What if it was a
crazy.
23-year-old fourth cousin? You know what I mean? Like what if they
No, the age would make it wronger than the cousin part.
What about like a really attractive uncle? Sorry, I'm just throwing a monkey wrench. into
No,
the
but yeah, but
conversation.
it's well,
Uncle by marriage?
Uncle's
Then-
too close. Yeah, uncle's too close. But if it was like uncle's brother, who's like your
Also an uncle?
relative by
your other. It was my other uncle. It was Uncle Steve. Yeah.
sure.
the other way around. So I'm thinking like a brother-in-law's other brother.
Right,
I got
right.
you. I know.
Brad Pitt marries your mother's sister, and you're doing everything to break
Yeah.
that marriage up.
But also, yeah, I grew up in a very small town, and so what tends to happen is that we kind of had like, it was almost like the mafia in the sense that there were like 5 main
go
families,
grab more
and
wine.
every at some point after 3 or 4 generations, well, actually even more than that, you could tie all of the families together because they'd got married, and so it's like this, and it just all goes together. So I think people just work it out. Plus, the other thing is if people are really concerned about, birth defects, et cetera, we only realized that drinking during pregnancy was bad, like what, 30 years ago? Like, it's really, if we're really concerned about, like our unborn children, they need to have a better chance. It's like, let's be honest, like we kind of like, dumbed ourselves down for centuries.
My mom didn't
before-
go hog wild while she was pregnant, but she thought if she didn't have at least a few on the weekends, I would have a low tolerance to alcohol. And that was 83. So
That was
Yeah.
her biggest priority. I got to
Fuck
make
yeah.
sure my son can hold his liquor.
goddamn right. And you know what? She was right. Da Vinci Pinot Grigio.
It's kind of like
Bottle
Drink it
one
during
down.
pregnancy.
I think it's kind of
Yes.
like in the Greek mythology, like Hercules' mom or whatever, or Achilles' mom dips him in the water, make him like impervious except for his ankle. just
Dude.
like-
Yeah, because
So except for fetal alcohol
Except
syndrome,
that-
that's
except-
the Achilles
yeah.
heel.
your mom did that for you, but for alcoholism. So
100%. And I'll bet ancient Greek women, especially if they were goddesses, they got fucking bombed. They didn't give a shit back
Yeah,
then.
but Athena can drink as much as she wants and not have a fucked up baby.
That's a good point. But I think it's going to be scarred mentally from just Athena seems a little fucking nutty. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Is Dionysus? Is that Greek or Roman? Who was like the god?
I
There were a
think-
few gods of.
Oh, I think
god of wine,
Dionysus was Greek, Bacchus was Roman.
right? Bacchus is wrong. Yeah. But they were like gods of wine, right? Like more. The
Yeah,
most,
so
most
they
I think
had
they
a
were
god
like
of
medicine
wine?
to them.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Why is it? There's got to be a wine named after the gods of wine, right? I mean, is there? You said
Yeah,
Bacchus?
that's in public domain.
Bacchus
Bacchus is Roman, yeah.
Roman.
Dude, there's got to be a Bacchus. We got to find a Bacchus for next week.
Bacchanalia.
Okay.
Unless that shit is more than $15,
Yeah.
then the god of wine can go fuck
Hey.
himself, and I'm still an atheist. You know what I mean?
$16.
Well, they have like
Yeah.
a whole Greek section of wine because this is the story of like Greek village.
goddamn
basically.
right.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll take a look. Anyway,
Bacchus.
back to the question. So what is our final advice? So he's basically saying, how do I approach this? I think that he, if he has been dubbed as the mediator in this situation, he needs to take the wife aside and be like, look, you're kind of being ridiculous. This is obviously about something else.
Yeah.
Like he needs to figure out what the real issue is.
He needs to
because
find out exactly what it is that she's upset by, and if it is like a vague like lack of understanding of like the genetics of it, and say, okay, we'll go to a doctor, go to a geneticist, or
Yeah.
go to someone,
Yeah.
and let them answer any questions you have. And if it's not that, then it's something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to my friend, Dr. Ilya. He says it's fine. He says it's fine.
Yeah, but also from the husband's, I think that's
I'm just
great.
saying, Annie Hall is a great movie. I'm not going to stop watching it ever.
Medically speaking, it was
I'm gonna
hilarious.
say, Sleeper is one of my favorites. Bananas, Take the Money in the Are you kidding me? He was king of the 70s.
But also the
That's
other
Scorsese,
thing is,
but-
so if he
Even for comedy, I'd take Mel Brooks over him.
Yes, exactly. Blazing Saddles, Young
Yes.
Frankenstein,
Yes.
High Anxiety.
And lack of kid fucking. That was my
Yeah,
favorite
that's-
movie
that's
that
the
he
main-
made. That was a great movie.
Okay, well, we were just speculating now. We don't
Yeah.
know.
There's no
That's,
evidence.
me, that's my kind of being
Yeah.
like let's hold on. We don't know that Mel Brooks never raped a child. I'm just saying.
There's, I love that it sounded like you were going the other way. It's like, wait a minute. We don't know that he wasn't friends with Epstein.
that
Come
person,
on now.
yeah, they would have come out by now. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. Well, I think we answered that question. Should we move
Yeah.
on to the next one?
Absolutely. Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, write your questions into loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com or watch every single Thursday at 8:30 Eastern. I think we're a little later today, but that's okay. Most of the time it's going to be 8:30, but definitely check our YouTube's or the YouTube page, all that good stuff. But for now, we are going to take another one from the wild animals on Reddit.
Next question. My sister is faking mental illness because her friend said that if she can get diagnosed with literally anything, she can live off of disability instead of getting a job. I'm 20 and my 18-year-old sister was kicked out of our parents' house as soon as she graduated high school because she tried to push our 6-year-old brother down the stairs and beat up our
Wait, it
mom.
sounds like this mental illness is alive and well.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like she's faking it if she tried to push a child down the stairs.
Yeah.
First, tries to murder a 6-year-old. Second, fakes mental illness. No. I think the second thing
It started off like she just watched too many MASH reruns.
Yeah, like,
How do I get out of this?
well, yeah, dressing in drag is okay now, so I'll try to murder a child.
Everyone's embracing me and telling me I'm a hero. This is backfired on me.
Yes, the unreleased episode of MASH where he tries to get out by
Clearly
infanticide.
goes too
That'd be
far.
great if they redo MASH now and they just give him an award for bravery. Sorry.
Yeah. So my sister went to go live with our grandma. Realizing that living with grandma wasn't going to be all fun and games, my sister decided that she wanted to move out, but to move out, she had to get a job. She told her friend and that nowhere would hire her, and her friend told her that if she could get diagnosed with anything, places would either have to hire her on the spot or she could apply for disability and just live off of that. Cue the onslaught of my sister vigorously researching every mental illness in the book.
Fuck
But
yeah,
all
she's
of
doing
this-
it right. I love a grifter. And dude,
I like the bad advice. Like, they have to hire you on the spot. It's like, hey, my uterus doesn't work.
Yeah.
I got the job, right? What?
yeah. We were just pro cousin fucking in the last question. So we're very pro taking money from the government.
When all of this began, she'd only been living with our grandmother for about a month. She stayed on for another year, and during that year, she did everything she could to convince everyone around her that she had not just one disorder, but many. She's even gone to a therapist who already told her that they're not going to diagnose her because she doesn't have any of the illnesses she is pretending to have. Regardless of this, she's still fishing to get diagnosed with anything for the sheer fact that she doesn't want to get a real job. Kind of at a loss here. I still want to have a relationship with my sister, but this is getting ridiculous. How do I deal with this? Okay, so here's one thing that I will say. This sister writing in this question is on her fucking high horse.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah. I hate
get
her.
off your high horse. Like, I'm not saying that this woman, I don't know if she's faking a mental illness. I agree with you. Pushing a child down the stairs sounds like you kind of have anger issues. But for her to be like, my sister's faking a mental illness and I'm going to go online. I'm going to find an end to this because she did. It's like, just worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Worry about your own problems. Like, I understand the fact of if that this is obviously affecting your relationship with your sister, but if your sister is physically violent, just give it a minute, let it breathe. Like, why are you trying to solve her problem for you. What are you gonna do? Fucking call the IRS and like rat her out?
This is the most diehard fiscal conservative question where she's more concerned about welfare fraud than she is about murdering a 6-year-old. This is and look, I don't hate on all Republicans, but this is very much we need to storm the Capitol now. We need to do it with more people. That's who this lady is.
I
don't think that's the same.
Well, I'm
just saying 100%. She was 100% there. She was dressed like a minotaur and all that fucking shit.
She definitely is very upset about people collecting the unemployment bonus in the last year and a half. You can't tell me that she was like, oh yeah, no. Like she, like I said, I think that the fact that she's, I'm not saying what her sister.
Whoever wrote this question did not expect this much antagonism in response to a perfectly reasonable concern.
Sometimes we go hard at the people writing questions. In fact, let me rephrase. Most of the time, we go hard at the people writing the questions.
So don't write questions in, kids, if you don't want to be
except for in the YouTube chaps. We're cool to you guys. These guys are fucking nuts on the Reddit questions. So
if you're on Reddit, we automatically assume you're a piece of shit.
We come at you hard.
Yeah.
But okay. So to recap now. So her sister has gotten this advice from another friend that if she is diagnosed with a mental illness, that she'll get to collect disability. I think that that's true to some extent, but it's not. But not all mental illness qualify you for disability. I mean, she's going about this in the wrong way. If she were going to do this, she first of all needs to look up which mental illnesses will qualify you for disability, then act like she has this, trying to just cast your net wide.
She's only picking mental illnesses that just annoy your coworkers around you and don't to get you.
Trying to just get diagnosed with something you're not really nipping it in the bud there. You gotta work backwards in this situation.
I feel like, Suzanne, you're just giving advice to the sister.
Yeah, I feel like
if you're trying to grift the government, here's how you do it, kiddo.
I feel like you might not have grasped the question at all. It's like, okay. Your sister's friend gave her bad advice. Here's what you gotta do. Look up the DS5 and look up you obviously if you want to do it the right way, you got to find, the easiest illness that you think you could fake that would be recognized that you could prove that it affects your ability to work properly. And thereafter, collect those sweet Social Security benefits.
Yeah, I also think, again, like this. So the younger sister's 18, the older sister's 20. I mean, we're talking about very young people just in general. It's, you really don't have your life figured out at that point. Like you are going to sort of pinball back and forth between bad decisions. And it kind of just sounds like that's what her sister's doing. She's going to figure it out eventually, or, sell drugs, whatever. It's, there's a path for her.
What she needs to do is help her sister by being like, listen, instead of just sort of going into the office with the crazy hat on or covered in dirt or whatever and just screaming like you got Tourette's, just tell him you tried to murder a 6-year-old. That's pretty fucking mentally ill. I don't think people want to hire people that try to murder 6-year-olds. So whatever caused you to do that, that's 100% disability.
So what's your biggest weakness? Well, I pushed a child down a cement stairs into a bookcase.
Yeah. I mean,
you applied to be a security guard at the mall. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You're a supervisor now. I got my first job at 18 and it was working with children. So I'm going to say that's probably not.
But also, I think that this sister, she almost sounds like she would be happy in a mental institution. Why doesn't she give that a crack? Just get yourself looked after, have a free room and board.
Get a quick 5150, go in. Get a quick 72-hour holdover, see what they make of you.
No, to be serious for a moment, I mean, it does sound like her going to therapy is the right move. But instead of going to your therapist like, please diagnose me as insane so I can get out of work on why did you push a 6-year-old down the stairs?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like before getting a job, you should work that out.
Are we sure it wasn't like a Home Alone situation gone wrong? There was like a paint can at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And the
Have you ever met a 6-year-old, Ian? Come on.
Look, we've all thought about it. You just don't act on it. That's what separates you. No, but going to therapy, try to figure out some stuff. And then I think once you figure out some stuff, maybe then you can think about figuring what your skill set is, what your interests are. And even if you have to get a shitty job, I mean, if you're 18, you should be trying to get
her skill set sound like her ideal job would be like sleeping with a professional athlete and then accusing him of rape. and like getting a payout.
It would be a
That
good
seems
job
like-
for this lady.
That seems like a narrow lane that she really thrive in.
I think that she should just try and meet Chris Humphreys. That's really what.
At a certain point, I think if you try to push enough 6-year-olds down the stairs, even like a college or a high school guidance counselor would tell you that's the career move to make. I think.
I'm just saying that. Okay, again, maybe I was a little harsh on the sister writing the question, but I think we're all in agreement that the sister trying to fake a mental illness is not well. She's not a balanced member of society, so there is something to work out there. Oh
yeah, one of my favorite things.
It's called laziness.
Oh yeah, and laziness.
But what 18-year-old do you know is every 18-year-old lazy?
This lady's working small to big on the problems. One of my favorite things on questions on the show is when somebody's asking a question about something, and then they're giving the details. And in the details of the question they're asking is a bigger problem than what they're trying, like by a lot. Like they're the guy in Jaws who got bitten in half, the fisherman guy, and they're just typing going, "We're out here at sea for 7 days looking for this goddamn shark. And this guy on the boat, he keeps leaving cans of beans everywhere. Oh, what's that? Another bump. Anyway, my ship is a mess. Tell me how to fix this, And like it's like, no, there is a shark that is about to eat your 6-year-old that had just tried to kick down the stairs, and you're worried about why won't it get a job? Just stop kicking 6-year-olds and get a job.
What stairs are on a boat?
The galley stairs.
Oh yeah.
They had it.
Level? Yeah.
And plus,
sorry, Mr. Pontoon. There's a lot of different kinds of boats out there.
I only have kayaks.
Yeah.
The ship on even the small little boat on Jaws had stairs. And I guess imagine even if you kick somebody down small stairs on a boat, it's going back and forth, dude. You don't want to fall downstairs on a boat.
No,
yeah, that's true. It's very steep. It's very steep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Joel has a comment. He says, what was the cyst diagnosed with? Incestuous investigatory equivocation coworker sexting disorder? If so, Jake, please give her my email.
Yes.
Full circle.
She just needs to pretend to be every single person asking the questions this week.
I am like really
and every therapist will be like, yeah, fucking never work again. Never go outside.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. It feels like a sitcom where he's trying to like put all 3 plot threads together in one thing at the end.
It's like Curb, just tie it all together.
Yeah.
It's good. It's like Curb if there was more cousin fucking and attempted murder.
That's season 11.
It's the reason it ain't come out yet, man. HBO's like, I don't even know.
Larry David's watching this right now, typing. Why did I even think of this?
What do you guys? Again, I think she just needs to butt out and just to worry about her own self, and her sister is gonna live her own life. But you guys, I think, have a different opinion. I mean, what should she do? I mean, what should she do in this situation besides the sister going to therapy genuinely?
Yeah,
I mean, it's always going to depend on the particular situation. I know I have like sort of a similar kind of extended family situation with someone with mental illness, and it's like, if they like, some people are sort of beyond the pale, and you've tried to help and you can't, and in that situation I'd be like, you don't, when their problem starts affecting your life negatively, then I would say you should try to remove yourself a little bit. But if you feel like there's something you can proactively do, it doesn't sound like, we don't have enough information. It doesn't sound like she's so far gone that something can't help. Like, your concern is legitimate.
No, it does though, because of that little half a second she dedicated to the kicking of a 6-year-old.
We don't know that he wasn't the Antichrist reborn. So like, why are you on the side of this 6-year-old all the time?
That little bastard's head just spun around to the back of his body.
That's because he landed on the bottom step. That happens a lot.
He's spinning around. His head's spinning around like the Antichrist.
We think he's the devil. He's not moving. No,
it's because he's got a broken neck because of you. What are you doing?
His collarbone sticking out, just like the devil would.
Just like in that movie, The Exorcist.
This is exactly what the devil would do. The devil would scream and cry for help.
His collarbone sticking out and it's shaped like a pentagram.
You know who else also hates to be punted downstairs? Witches. That's right. Burning this kid at the stake.
Look, just put him in water, and if he floats, then he's a witch. In that case, right. But no, really, I would encourage her to go to therapy to figure out why she did that, unless, again, he's on the off chance he's the Antichrist. And then when she's been in therapy a few months, then I get to the point where I would say then try to find a job and try to maybe go to community college or something and try to make her make some life decisions from there.
I would just say that like the problem was that like that's like the advice that you would give to a person who would be responsive to that advice.
Well,
And the
yeah,
problem
you
with
have to
situation
want to
is,
help
like,
yourself.
It's a person.
Yeah, that's why I think you should go to therapy first for a few months and then try to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Maybe get her a job like being like a promoter at a club. I feel like that's a good job.
She needs a job that's
she
like
needs a job that doesn't feel like a job to her, but that will make her feel productive.
Yeah.
Ooh, OnlyFans. Tell her to get on OnlyFans.
That's a great.
You just want more 18-year-olds on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Especially the ones that kick kids downstairs. They're the best OnlyFans members, dude. They're fucking nuts. They go crazy. They go crazy.
Dios mío.
Dios mío is my favorite OnlyFans girl. Oh, Dios mío too. Yeah. That's her handle name.
$20 a month. You get upskirts and upstairs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Well, I think we answered that question. Should we do one more quick one?
Absolutely. Last question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, write your questions into Love Gurus podcast at yahoo.com or watch every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Where's the goddamn music? Where did you go, music? How dare you do this to me?
Where did music go? It's right.
Oh my God, I thought that was the sound for that. See, I'm
My
gullible,
voice
man.
is so lovely.
I fall for that stuff. I was like, what the hell is going on? But yes.
Last question. Seems impossible for my boyfriend to maintain platonic friendships with women. I guess I don't know what friendship isn't platonic, but whatever. You get the point. I'm with my boyfriend now for a little over a year. We're both fairly young, 23 and 25. I've noticed a weird pattern when it comes to his friendships with women. In short, after we got together with one of his friends, randomly decided that she and my boyfriend are destined to be together, and she did some questionable things. Some examples include crying to everyone that I'm getting in between their love, telling me that I'm not worthy of his attention, throwing a fit whenever he would spend time with me. Obviously, they're not friends anymore because she kept getting crazier and crazier. Now, here's the problem. During our over a year-long relationship, there were 3 girls who were his friends, but randomly started to think that there was something more between them, and I was in the way. I'm always getting suspicious here, and I'm not sure if it's my imagination. Generally speaking, I feel like I can understand one of your friends turning out to be not right in the head, but 3 friends? Their behavior toward my boyfriend and myself always showed a pattern, how they would get closer to me, then just be downright hostile. I told my boyfriend that there's something weird going on. I have friends. My female friends have male friends. My ex had female friends, and there was never jealousy like that. But then it was, and that maybe that this was a one-time thing. Never have I ever heard your friends of the opposite sex go berserk on your significant other. How do I approach this situation?
First of all, this is one of the pitfalls of dating Charles Manson. So this is a little bit on her. So if you didn't want him getting the bad crowd going after him, this is.
I just think she's an idiot. Like, she's like, I don't understand why all these women keep coming up to my boyfriend and are like, how dare you?
It sounds
it's like, yeah, your boyfriend's cheating. Like,
sounds
duh.
I was going to get the other way. It sounds like he's a real catch.
Really?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Sounds
like,
like
is
he's
he like exceptionally hot?
Why is
I
everyone
mean,
going to this
he's
local
awesome.
restaurant?
No,
it's probably
dude.
a great restaurant.
Straight up.
I can't get a reservation.
The boyfriend is just cheating on her with these friends.
You're so
I don't
negative.
And then they go crazy
You're such a
because
cynic.
he says things like, oh, I'm going to break up with her to be with you. Then he doesn't. So then they go crazy. And he's like a predator that like preys on these weak women.
Yeah, it sucks because when someone's clearly really fucking stupid in the question, you're like, I don't even know if they're gonna be smart enough to listen to the advice. You know, it's tough. It's like
Wait, but you guys think that it's genuine, that maybe he's just like he's like the Jim of the world, you know, Jim from The Office, and
Oh no,
people just don't
Is
want to
that the
date him.
ultimate-
Oh no, he's probably
yes.
probably
I think he's
comedically
Jim.
it's way funnier if he's Charles Manson.
I think he's
Some
Jim.
kind of combination.
And they're all Pam, and Jim and Pam never hooked up in The Office. I've only seen the first couple seasons. What happens after that?
I mean, I think there can be an element of possibly he might be a naturally sort of like there are guys who are like naturally more comfortable, more friendly around women, and like sort of flirty.
Yeah,
That's
they're
also
called guys
they
that
are.
fuck a lot. That's what this guy.
I was trying to think of the technical term. I think investigatory. But there are guys, there are dudes who are like that. So it could be a combination of that. And they're both very young. I assume all his friends are, and I don't know
Yeah.
what their social milieu is, but presuming he's around a bunch of hot chicks who like him, and that's just the environment that they're in. I assume he's probably a very attractive guy.
Joel on YouTube says she's either suddenly unstable, like my ex-wife, or her boyfriend's a douche, like I used to be.
Amy had a good comment. She's, girl, you in danger, which is obviously a throwback to Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost, which is a great comment. But yeah, I just think like there's something about this guy. I don't believe that he's just so great that these women become obsessed with him and say things like, oh, we're destined to be together. I mean, that just sounds, unless he is just hanging out with a lot of like, really insecure, again, unless he's like finding these weak women to surround himself with so he feels better. I just think he's cheating with
We're just friends. And besides, I can't sleep with her anyway. We're 6 cousins, for Christ's sake. I can't do that.
I mean, I think it's possible that that he's maybe just the kind of guy who, one thing, it might be the fact that 3 different women have been like, I'm in love with you, and he's still with you. It means that he's chosen you over 3 different women, ultimately. I think that's
it's romantic. You're what Dr. Phil would refer to as his bottom bitch. You're his bottom bitch, and he loves you.
Wait, me or her?
No, not her.
No, her.
Oh, okay. I was like, for a second, okay.
Wait, but bottom, I mean, are you talking about like a Hugh Hefner situation where there's a number 1, 2, and 3? Like,
no. I'm talking. That's actual pimp terms.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pimp terms.
sorry.
Bottom bitch. It actually takes the Hefner model and flips it on its head. The
Ah,
bottom
that's
bitch
why
is the
I'm
one you want to be.
Hefner's is so much more easy to understand.
Yes, and you get to live in a nicer spot usually. You know what I mean? The bottom bitch is like, yeah, she gets to sleep in the nicest roach-filled hotel room, but like she's still probably gonna get stabbed.
Oh, man.
He might also be one of these guys that maybe like doesn't necessarily cheat, but just likes to go right up to the edge of like being really flirty and kind of leading them on to the point where he just like will say like, I just love being around you.
Yeah.
But like,
and
doesn't
then if they try to kiss,
like,
he's like, what are you doing? That's crazy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I think it might be a situation like that so maybe he just doesn't know how to just be bros with a lady. Like, I feel like the majority of my friends are women, but I know how to just be bros with a lady, where it's just my friendship really isn't different.
Have you tried punching them in the vagina as a joke? Like really throw it up.
What woman are you hanging out with where she's like, I just like spending time with you because when we hang out, he's just a bro.
Yeah.
Like, who is saying that?
No, I have lots of women friends who are just bros to me. Like it's totally
have you ever
nothing sexual.
Have you been in a long-term relationship and explained that to your significant other and had it gone well? Like
yes.
they don't care?
Yeah, no, like I no, because I think if you're with the right person, I think it's a good sign when guys have a lot of women friends, because first of all, they have people to go to if they fuck up and they'd be like, oh, how do I fix it?
Sure.
But it's, and as somebody else I saw a tweet one time that I think made a good, I don't remember, it's not me, but I don't know who to credit it to, said, there are lots of women who enjoy being around this guy. That's a good sign.
Yeah, but at the same time, I once told my fiance, listen, a friend of mine is in town. Her name is Christy, and I'm going to go like have lunch with her. She was like, oh, okay. Listen, before you go, I just want you to know, I'm going to kill her. And as for you, I'm not going to kill you right away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tie you upside down and I'm going to torture you like that obscure family in Game of Thrones that used to skin motherfuckers and light them on fire. You know what I mean? The one that cut Theobald's dick off or whatever. That guy.
Oh, Ramsay Bolton.
Ramsay Bolton. Yes. She said, I will Ramsay Bolton your ass if you go to dinner with Christy. And so I didn't.
I don't know.
There might be a middle ground.
Yeah. I think
Yes.
Not with mine, dude. Not with mine. It's Ramsay Bolton or no female friends. That's it.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's pretty common.
I understand what Ian's saying, that there are guys who it's like, that they have, but then there's the other side of it too. Again, where there are guys that have a lot of female friends that they just like to flirt with a lot, and it is like shady and dodgy.
I don't know. Right? I believe Joel on YouTube. He says, "Dude ain't innocent at all. He's fucking around. Trust me."
Is that the actual boyfriend just like wanted to confess? Like, listen.
Yes.
It's like if your boyfriend's name is Joel Smith, this is the guy who's confessing to you right now.
The Love Gurus podcast is his confessional. You know what I mean? He comes, he tells us his sin every week. And we're like, yeah, it's fine. Say a Hail Mary or whatever the fuck those are. You're fine. Just come back next week.
But yeah, I think he also said something on there. Sorry, it just the comments just went away. But he also said something about there. Just ask my cousin.
Oh yeah. It's if you don't take my word for it, ask my cousin. He said if I were taking it to the edge, as Ian stated, my ass would be in divorce court. Honestly, I know me. I couldn't take it to that edge without crossing that line. Not proud of it, just being honest. And then John on YouTube said, he's a dude who fucks a lot. Love it.
Maybe. I mean, so what should our final advice be for this woman? You know, so she kind of has a boyfriend that, you know, this keeps happening. I guess my advice is, okay, maybe he's not cheating, but I would say be on the lookout for it and just have your eyes wide open. And, you know, if he starts, you know, being fishy about where he's been or who he's hanging out with, like, don't, you know, look into that or at least like notice it. You know, don't just always take him at his word. You know, again, it could be completely innocent, but the fact that this happened 4 times, you know, it's like this woman and 3 others. I mean, within a year, that is very fishy.
I'll take even a more aggressive side in her favor. I would say that you know, it doesn't matter even if he's not doing anything. There's clearly some aspect to his friendship with those women that engenders them to be like smitten with him, like this very bizarre way. So you could say, well, there's clearly something about you being close to them. So these women are not. You have to change your behavior because they're not going to change theirs. Like I think that would be a reasonable request as well. You can do that without like saying, maybe accusing him of infidelity. You can just say you still have like the way they're behaving is not appropriate. So you have to adjust how you behave in front of, like, you know, you can do that and see how that works. And then when inevitably he does in fact have sex with them, then you revisit the conversation because that is in fact what will happen.
Yes, that's.
I mean, for one thing, I'm sort of proud of this guy because he got like a really stupid girlfriend and a whole bunch of side pieces who he's able to hide in plain sight, like Bruce Wayne being a billionaire. You know what I mean, in front of the camera all day, and then going and fucking a lot of women in that suit at night. Like,
what if it's like a twist, like a movie twist ending, and it turns out she's another girl who's also like all those girls also wrote the same letter, and then he actually has like a real girlfriend who's more sincere, but she's also infatuated with
her. So you're saying it's she's a side piece?
Yeah, she's one of the side ones.
I love that twist ending. He actually 2 train stops away. He's got a family of 7.
Yeah.
Yes!
It's like, what? You're out with your bros again?
Oh my God. It's totally James Vanderbeek who you're talking about.
There's this one woman who's got 3 children with him, and she's like, oh, we're destined to be together. Yeah. It's like, stop bothering my man. You know, that kind of thing.
He's been paying her rent because they've been quote unquote living together as a couple. Yeah. But his actual wife and kids is like, how come you make like $300,000 a year at Chase Bank?
I guarantee you.
We live in a studio in Bed-Stuy. What the fuck is going on here?
I guarantee you she wrote that while hiding in his attic.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's what I'm throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think definitely this guy's fucking around, but even if he's not, even if what he's saying is true and he's not sleeping with these women, there's definitely something weird going on in that these women are being fucking twats to her, and he's like not doing anything about it. Like that's shitty even of itself, even if he's not fucking him. So she needs to, I say, play the long game. Easy answers, break up with him. Too good for him. Too good for him. You know, we got to get in his head. All right. So you need.
And then if you break up with him, he has 3 options of who he can get with now.
Exactly.
And all 3 of them are my destined to be with.
Yeah.
So any one of them.
Yes. They're going to be
this guy says, oh, I need to find another lady to fuck. Whatever shall I do? You know, like that's not one of his problems in life. You know, it's just not. So what we got to do is we keep him and we fuck with his head. You need to get your own male friends. Okay. Not straight ones. They're going to try to sleep with you. Even Ian. Okay. Especially Ian. So what you need to do, befriend some like really buffed gay dudes. You know what I mean? The gay dudes, because the gay dudes that lift, they fucking lift.
And
you know what I mean?
Pride Month, by the way.
Yes, happy Pride Month. Yeah, you see them out there in the parades. They're fucking gorgeous. I'm not an ounce of fat on them, but they're fucking jacked.
No better way to celebrate Pride than to force gay men to pretend to be straight despite your heterosexual relationship.
Yes, but you don't do it to stay in the closet. You do it for the opposite reason. You know what I mean? You do it to fuck with some straight dude. You know what I mean? Who's being a dick to your straight lady friend. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing.
Yeah, nothing gets a guy more jealous than overtly gay men being friendly to your wife.
No.
That really gets me blood boiling.
All right. They got to be actors too. They're going to pretend to be
well,
straight.
if they're gay in New York, they're definitely actors.
Yes, exactly. You know, you hire them for the role of a straight dude who's pretending to be friends, but is in way better shape than your boyfriend. You just go like, yeah, I'm hanging out with Larry. And then he shows up and he's like, hey, hi, I'm Larry. This is my real voice, you know? And that's just, you hang out with other dudes.
Genuinely,
that
I
are
think
fucking jacked.
You could pitch a good movie. The woman tries to get revenge on her boyfriend by hiring her gay friend to pretend to be like a suitor, but then they actually fall in love and he starts questioning his homosexuality. So I didn't mean to derail the conversation.
I was about to make a similar pitch.
You know what? I'm gonna. Yes, we need to do that. And we said
we gotta cut the podcast off right now.
Yeah, we're gonna make a lot of money off this, selling it to like OAN and Fox News and all that. It's gonna be a romantic comedy, but for
pro conversion therapy.
Yes. He goes to one of those turn you straight Bible camps where they bang your dong in between Bibles until you like women or however that works. But
you totally get a plug on the 700 Club.
Yeah,
I love it.
And you know who the star of this movie is going to be? Milo Yiannopoulos. That's right. He's going to star in this movie.
I saw him at Six Flags once.
Yeah.
That's it. I saw him walking by. I was like, I think that's Milo. That's it. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, John had a comment. He said, the stress of side pieces often ain't worth the shit. Am I right? Yeah.
Spoken like a guy who definitely has never had a side piece.
And then
Joel says, it could be innocent. Yep. And if my aunt if my aunt was the screen's kind of far away. If my aunt had balls, she could be my uncle. Yeah. She doesn't, and she isn't. John on YouTube says, the stress of side pieces often ain't worth it. Walking on end shells. And Joel says amen. And that's
again, listeners, I want to point out that when I read the comments, it's on my phone, which is 6 inches away from my face. Jake is reading it at least 15 feet.
And I'm reading it past.
It's very small.
Past the light.
There's a crazy number of obstacles between him and the screen.
Yeah.
So
it's ridiculous.
It's not that Jake's a bad reader. He's literally
literally harming his eyes.
Yes. Not only is it far away, there's a ring light in between it. It's my eyes have to do hurdles past the light onto the fucking question.
Jake is technically illiterate.
This is considered torture in the Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
How did I go blind? No. It wasn't in the war. It wasn't saving children. It was reading dick jokes on a podcast. But God damn it, I did it for the listeners.
For the listeners.
Well, perfect. I think we answered that question. I think we answered all of our questions investigatorially well.
Dude, we investigated the fuck out of them questions. It was very investigatorial.
You know the word investigate. It's just not a hard leap for you. You're a reasonably intelligent person.
I know what investigate means.
Yeah.
I can investigate a case.
I've investigated shit before. But once I throw an OGLIY on it, I can't say that. I can't say that. I can say investigate, but nothing else. I can't add things to that word. It just doesn't happen.
Is investigately a word? No.
I can do investigated. I can do investigating.
Can you say
that's it. That's
it.
Well done.
Fucking A,
you can say investigator, right?
Investigator.
And then you add a Y at it at the end.
Investigate.
Slightly different.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
The damn Iowa public schools.
Investigator. It's not happening.
Matthew Broderick, Inspector Gadget, will never be on our podcast now.
It won't be. Especially Matthew Broderick, investigatory. He's never going to be on.
I love the deep cut of that reference of like you could have been like Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock Holmes, but you're like no,
or French Stewart in the sequel.
It just popped into my head of when Matthew Broderick was Inspector Gadget. My
my aunt how his career had fallen. You know, it's like you just thinking to yourself, thank God you married Sarah.
Plus, we're from the Midwest. Inspector Gadget is our Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
It's just a trash.
I think he
place,
spent a
dude.
lot of his career for the last 25 years just hiding the fact that he murdered that woman in Ireland when he drove over.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just
Wait,
like,
Matthew Broderick or Inspector Gadget?
no, it's not a weird, dark Inspector Gadget backstory. It's Matthew Broderick.
Wait, Matthew
Yeah, I forgot
He ran over a
about
woman in
that.
Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah, he like totally murdered someone and was
Yeah.
like, hey, guess
I
what?
didn't
Matthew
know
Broderick.
that.
Yeah.
Dude, if you
I
got Broderick
haven't
fame,
thought about
apparently you can get away with it.
years. Sorry?
If you got Broderick fame, you can get away with anything, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know about
that's
this.
maybe. Yeah, I think that's. I
He
think,
murdered a woman in
I love-
Ireland?
I haven't heard
Yeah,
about this.
I don't
Yeah.
remember like the details,
Holy
but it was like,
shit.
yeah, he murdered some women. And
Chime in the chat if you have the facts at the
Dude.
ready, because I don't have.
allegedly.
Especially if
I was
got
gonna say,
footage.
I was wondering if it's. I don't think it's a DUI thing. I think it was just like a horrible accident, but
Oh,
he ran over
gotcha.
someone and killed.
Because, man, if
Oh.
there's one person I can't see stabbing a woman in the woods, it's Ferris goddamn Bueller at any age.
No, Ferris Bueller would. Matthew Broderick. Ferris Bueller is
Yeah.
a goddamn sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd already killed 5 people by the time that movie came out.
he's talking to what's that guy's name, Kevin. It's just like, listen, Kevin, sometimes on bachelor parties in Vegas, hookers die. Okay, hookers die. We push her out the back of the thing like your dad's car.
When he kicked the car a bunch and then it crashed through the window, it hit 3 people.
Yeah.
Kevin, it wasn't your fault. We're gonna bury them. Kevin, don't be a pussy.
I like to think that he stabbed somebody and as she was dying, he went, "Oh yeah."
Oh.
If the cops find out about this, I'm never going to graduate high school on time. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, perfect. Well, again, huge thank you to our guests for being on the podcast.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like
Thank
I
you.
helped no one.
Yes. No, we
You
did.
helped.
We saved lives tonight.
I think I gave genuinely earnest legal advice. So you should, I mean, I could charge you like $3.50 an hour for that. So you
Yeah,
guys should take
yeah.
Ernest, you
that's-
either mean honest or I need to learn a new word, and I'm not willing to do that
it.
again.
No, like Ernest goes to camp. You know how it works.
Yeah, I know Ernest. But thank you to Ilya and Ian, and thank you to all the listeners. Thank you to all the people that came up and chatted live, man. Thanks to Joel.
Thank you
Thanks
guys
to John.
so much.
Thanks to D10. Thank you to Amy. Thank you to all the listeners out there. Write us questions at Love Gurus Podcast. And until next week, catch us live every Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Until next week, listeners, later.